Hello and welcome to Hops and Bros. Hello and welcome to... Hello and welcome to Hops and Bros. This week, we're taking a look at seltzers.
For an open window on a craft beer world, Max and Chris from Ups and Brews. Ups and Brews. Welcome to Ups and Brews.
Alright, so a few years ago, we did a video on wine. I believe we called it, Grapes and Lads, and it was an April Fool's video. Now, this one is a little different. Same in the sense that we're not necessarily taking a look at beer, but different in the sense that it's a little more serious than the last one we did. Seltzers. You probably know hard seltzers. They've been kind of popular since about 2017, 2018. White Claw being the big guy when it comes to them. And slowly but surely, they went from more of an American thing up to Canada a little more recently, and they're kind of taking the alcohol sales and LCBOs and other retailers by storm. It's kind of incredible how much they're actually selling of this stuff, which being a craft beer enthusiast is scary, but scary in a kind of... It goes against everything that we believe when it comes to craft beer. Craft beer is always about kind of showing it to the big guys that the small guys can do it, putting flavor over watered-down beers, and trying to keep it within the community. Seltzers is the complete opposite, and therefore is a threat to craft beer in a weird way. Not a legit threat, not a threat to people who are still very, very craft beer enthusiasts, but it does take away from a few of the different products that craft brewers have been doing in the last few years, including sours. We'll talk about that a little later. Now, Chris, what is seltzers? What's the whole thing? What's your opinion on this? And yeah, well, what is this? What's going on?
So what's a hard Stelzer? Yes, Max, it's mostly carbonated water with alcohol, because everyone knows Stelzer is just carbonated water, just like I'm always drinking here at home using my soda stream and whatever. But some brilliant minds, I guess marketing minds or just drink geniuses, created this alcoholic version of it. It's a quite simple thing. It's easy, it's clear. Also, you can add a bunch of different flavors to it if you wanted grapefruit, strawberry, blueberry, or do some funky alcohol flavors to it, then go for it. This is what our Stelzers are for, and because of that, it gained so much traction over 2019 that it's just blowing all over 2020. So the biggest brand right now is White Claw. If you haven't heard about this brand, it's pretty much everywhere across the board. It just recently got released into LCBOs. I think it's about like a month or two ago, just before the pandemic thing, but it got boomed everywhere. In Toronto, people were lining up to buy cases of that. And in the US, it's been a meme pretty much everywhere across the map about buying a bunch of White Claw to get drunk. But White Claw is a brand owned by the same owners as Mike Lemonade. If you're newer to the drinker market, it's also kind of like a spiked version of a lemonade, which is very good as an own part of the market to them, and it's running since I think it's probably 10 years, something like that. But in the market, you also have Truly. Truly is a brand owned by Boston Beer Company. Yes, the same guys behind Samuel Adams and Angry Orchard. This company owns a lot of drinks in general, alcoholic beverages, so it's kind of like a logic thing for them to dive into this market. What's very important to note here is that together, White Claw and Truly are both owning 85% of the shares in this market. Obviously, now bigger breweries like Anheuser-Busch and Labatt are jumping in with their own version of this fantastic little drink. Why do I say fantastic? I've never had a hard Stelzer, and I'm not looking to drink one, but I can easily imagine that something that tastes like a La Croix flavored grapefruit with a little bit of alcohol is just a fantastic mix in the middle. to get a nice little party going on. Hard seltzers have a nice appeal to a younger crowd. I don't feel related to this drink because I don't look for lower calorie drinks. Yes, I do like to work out. I do love to take care of myself, to pace myself when I'm drinking and all that. But I've never really looked into the calories behind my beers that I'm drinking because I just pace myself over the week. But people are looking into that, and local options is something people are asking for. Is it really relatable with local options in beer? I'm not sure. Yes, I've tried lower calorie beers that were good, but they're still not up to the aromas or the flavors you can get in a hard seltzer. Because you can add pretty much any other syrup to your hard seltzer to get the right flavor you'd like. Let's say you want it to taste like maple syrup, you can just like throw a spoon in. Just realize that maple syrup might add just a little bit too much calories to your hard seltzer and not stay healthy in some way. So obviously the targeted market is millennial, and they've been doing this to another level. And it might be something that I don't understand properly, but it's such a fantastic marketing campaign, marketing scheme behind it that it blows my mind. And when you do get those millennials, it just kind of like rolling. And I think even Gen Z, is it Gen Z, the one after us? I'm considered a millennial, so the one after us, the ones that are always on TikTok and whatever. Yeah, those people, they are all for that. And the reason why is because they kind of like launched it. With White Claw, they launched it with a campaign with a tag name called It's a White Claw Summer. And one of my favorite that kind of like sprung during summertime and just became one of those usually used meme is ain't no claw when drinking claw. No, ain't no law when drinking claw. Wow, that's harder to say. It's easier to write than to say, but it blew up the internet. Everyone's talking about it, and I think it has its positive things. It blew up in the market. It took a huge part of the beer sales in general, so it kind of affect the market of beer, and some people are even saying that it's maybe canceling beer to one point. But what I don't like about it is the kind of figure that it comes with. And White Claw, with this new thing, kind of like triggered a weird part of the internet that I'm not really used to, but I've seen a lot of stuff related to guns with White Claw. And I think a great account you guys should follow is Worst Beer Blog out there on Twitter. He shares a lot of them, kind of like, he has a whole Twitter trend around it where there's random rednecks in the desert shooting guns at their White Claw in their literal end, and then after that chugging it, which obviously is very, very dangerous, and you don't want your brand to be associated with that. I don't see brands trying to dissociate from that because it creates buzz. And buzz is good because you can go viral from that, and they're truly benefiting from it at this point. And the reason why hard seltzers are this huge in the market right now, it's because of the buzz around it. It's simple. It's an easy option. People that don't like alcohol in general can easily grab it. I remember when I was young and innocent and not drinking yet beer, we had those lower ABV style of vodkas. They were like 20, 23%, something like that, even 17, I think. So it wasn't really vodka, but we were able to buy that at the grocery store. It tasted like nothing, but it got you hammered very fast. And I think that it's, at this point, it's part of like a responsibility from the brand. Same thing with Four Loko. It's dangerous to some extent for the health of the youth of the young ones, but also dangerous for people that are starting to drink because it's easy to drink and it boasts an high ABV, and you're marketing it as something that's sexy and all that. I know beer is not perfect to this point, but having something that's easily accessible like that, taste-wise, kind of triggers some parts of my brain that I'm not very keen to lean to. So overall, what are the specifics of a hard seltzer if you want to brew one at home, let's say, or your brewery, and you want to jump into it and make your own? Max, how does it work?
Yeah, so alongside with this whole concept of new alcohols being invented, being created, happening around us, it naturally does put pressure on craft brewers. The goal is to keep your business afloat. Therefore, you have to kind of explore everything that's going on around to try to make money. In most cases, it's about the craft beer. If you're more of a American style craft brewer, you might look more into American pale ales, IPAs, stuff like that. Or you might actually take a broader look and take a bit of everything. Have a lager, have a stout, have a red, have a few IPAs, and try to cater to as many people as possible to keep those sales afloat. Which, when it comes to seltzers, it's something. It's a new thing coming in, and just like sours, is it something that's going to stay, go? What's going on? Is it important to take a look at it? And it kind of is. Would I actually appreciate those? Not really. I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because the whole goal of seltzer is to be flavorless. You add flavor after, but essentially you want the alcohol to taste as much like water as possible. And here's the gist of the process and why I kind of thought I wanted to bring this product, this idea to the show. Why I wanted to talk about it, because it's very interesting. A lot of the different alcohols that you have on the market, like Mike's Hard Lemonade and a few other kind of flavor adjunct, flavor added alcohols out there, actually start as beer. They start as a beer base, and it's only after that you bleach the color out of it, and then you add your flavor to it. And seltzers are not unlike that. The big difference, I would say, is the concept of RO water. So in beer, we don't really use RO water. We do want some minerals in our water, and some breweries have been kind of using a lot of RO water and deionized water and something that doesn't have any minerals. That's RO water. And then adding whatever minerals they want to it and brewing with that is extremely expensive, and it's not the best way of doing it. It's a lot better to find a good water source. But in the case of seltzers, that's kind of the way to start it. You want the most basic water as possible, basic being the key word here, with not a lot of minerals to it, virtually no minerals if you use RO water, and then you add your own minerals to it. The main reason is you want it to be as clear as possible. It's a little bit like San Pellegrino or Perrier, in the sense that you're trying to carbonate water by adding as little salt as possible. Just add a bit of flavor to it, but keep it as basic as possible. And I mean, seltzers are essentially that. They're just alcoholic carbonated water, which is kind of weird. Anyway, so you start off with that RO water, and then you use a sugar source. A lot of people do use malt. You use grain to add the alcohol to it. They then bleach it out. Some people will just use sugarcane sugar and then ferment that as much as possible, and then filter it until it is crystal clear, and it's just basically alcohol water, which kind of works too. Another way to do it would be to add vodka to a water source and carbonating that, which is not necessarily a bad way to do it. There's a lot of different ways, but you see where I'm going with this. It's all kind of against the concept of beer. Beer is something that has been made for hundreds of years, will keep on being made for hundreds of years, and is essentially hopefully here to stay, but will have those kinds of products as competition. Goes completely against it. Beer drinkers want that flavor. They want something. They want to feel the hops. They want a bit of bitterness. They want a balance. They want some pilsners. They want something. They don't just want water. But it does alienate people who maybe didn't know they were going to like beer. Maybe they had one beer experience and then decided, no, it's not for me, and never even tried a sour, because sour beers has the word beer in it, and they don't like beer, even though sours don't taste anything like beer. So all that to say that it's a weird new trend. It's coming in. It's been coming in. It's not going to stop coming in. But it's kind of our job to educate people, to let them know that, hey, there's different beers to try. Don't just go, I hate beer. Go, I hate this kind of beer. Is there something else I might like? You might not, but don't necessarily give the victory to the seltzer people, to White Claw and all those others, because it is a product. It's an interesting way to brew this, but there's no soul to it. And that's, I think, what I'm getting at is when it comes to alcohol, I'm not looking to abuse it. I'm looking for the flavor. I'm looking for the soul of it. I'm looking for the enjoyment. I'm looking for something different. I'm not looking for alcohol water. I'm not looking to get fucked up. I'm looking for, the experience more than anything else. And with this seltzer, hard seltzer, it's not that at all. It's something different. Anyways, if you like the video and if you want to see more of these, if you want to see us kind of tackle other things than just beer, please let us know in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, Archer, you can come down now.